Man, he's really lost his fastball. That's Larry David, who used to be a really funny guy. People would ask, Charlie, do you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm? I never liked Larry David. He is not the brains of the operation of Seinfeld. It was obviously Jerry or somebody else. He's a baby. He's sick. Larry David, you perfectly just showed us exactly what is going on tonight at this New York fundraiser.
Turning Point USA head Charlie Kirk is positive that co-creator, writer, and executive producer of Seinfeld, Larry David, is actually not the brains behind the show. It's fascinating. Charlie's upset because Larry David recently trashed Donald Trump during an interview with Chris Wallace. Watch.
How much has the whole 2020 election and everything that has flowed from it pissed you off?
Oh, I mean, you can't go a day without thinking about what he's done to this country, because he's such a little baby that he's thrown 250 years of democracy out the window by not accepting the results of an. I mean, it's so crazy. He's such a sociopath. He's so insane. He just couldn't admit to losing. And we know he lost. He knows he lost. And look how he's fooled everybody. He's convinced all these people that he didn't lose. He's such a sick man. He's so sick. Anyway, no, it hasn't impacted me at all.
And Charlie did not appreciate that. And not only did he accuse David of not being responsible for Seinfeld's success, he also says he's just not a happy guy. Why? Obviously because he's a dirty, rotten atheist. Take a look.
You know what's really interesting is it's obvious that ever since Donald Trump came on the scene, Larry David is not as happy of a person as he once was. He's really never been that happy. I think he's an atheist. He's snarky. He's your typical kind of New York Woody Allen type that is constantly complaining and is, thinks he could be really funny. By the way, that clip, he's a baby. He's sick. He's sick. Use some different words, man. You wrote Seinfeld. You're talking like a ninth grader who had her SSRIs taken away from her. Like, come on, let's get some new vocabulary there, man.
I want to bring you in a second, but I think Cody Johnston perfectly captured the absurdity here with this. About that video, quoting Brendan Krett of Media Matters, I never liked Larry David. He's not the brains of the operation of Seinfeld. He's your typical kind of New York Woody Allen type that is constantly complaining. And he says, turning on an episode of Seinfeld so I can watch people not complain. Has he watched Seinfeld? Has he ever consumed an episode of Seinfeld? What was he expecting here?
Look, it's so ridiculous. There are a couple of things that are ridiculous, or several things that are ridiculous. One of which is, I think Larry David's, he starts to sort of say, I think Larry David's lost a step or lost something on his. Yep. So he sort of suggests that he at one time was appreciating Larry David as being funny. But then he goes into the whole thing about, I've never found Larry David funny. I don't think he's the brains behind Seinfeld. So right away it's like, okay, dude, you're just throwing stuff up against the wall to see what sticks. And if you've watched Larry David at all, if you've watched Curb Your Enthusiasm, or just seen Larry David in interviews, and obviously if you watch Seinfeld, it's all the same character. I mean, it's clearly Larry David's voice being played out in the episodes of Seinfeld. So it's the most absurd argument. Yet he's just trying to push back on Larry David in any way that he could. I did think that Larry David could have picked some additional words besides he's sick. So I'm going to go with him on that. But I think he was speaking from the heart. He was angry, and he wasn't looking to craft the perfect line. You know what I mean?
He also did call him a sociopath, which has many syllables.
That's true. You're right. Okay, that offsets it.
So that's it. It's just like nothing's going to be good enough for, against all odds, nothing's going to be good enough for Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
He's doing you're absolutely right. He's just throwing stuff against the wall. He's like, what kinds of insults has Trump done against other people? Like a very mean thing on par with I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. It's like one of those things that people say, it's like, you're not as good as you used to be. Like he's trying that bar, but Larry David is the same as he ever was. And Larry David, you're saying that Larry David is not funny. And Parade Magazine says that he's worth $400 million from being funny. So Charlie, you're worth tens of millions of dollars ostensibly, Because people use you as a tool to indoctrinate the youth, in the meantime until they find someone better, and they are trying so hard because you look like your ostensible coke addiction is making you super duper twitchy. Like one of your nostrils has gotten so big over the years, and I've watched you like on your show, just like it's so bad. Like, and he's definitely in a lull right there. You need help, Charlie, and if you need help, just call me. We'll work on it together. But like Charlie Kirk cannot allow Larry David to seem cool after saying something like that about Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to tear him down. Is there anyone on the planet who's going to change their opinion of Larry David based on what Charlie Kirk said in that interminable, slow, halting, crap? Like these are the best orators that the right is trying to put forward, and this guy like can't get through a sentence without like pausing to see whether he himself believes all these things he's saying about Larry David.
I mean, there's plenty to criticize. If you really wanted to criticize Larry David, you could. There's plenty of things you could. Going after his success in entertainment isn't the best approach. I mean, this is after Seinfeld, then went on to create Curb Your Enthusiasm, which just now is ending after starting in the early 2000s. You could have picked a different avenue. He's had 2 of the most successful TV shows of all time that he created. I'll concede, he did not have a fracking billionaire pay his salary for years to astroturf a right-wing movement. That takes skill, that's an accomplishment. Congratulations, Charlie. One thing I think you should work on is addressing your hairline, which seems to be receding somehow from the side.
Yep.
I don't know exactly what's going on there, but like,
no, it's not actually.
I shouldn't go to the side. If you want to do, you want to do it now?
No, I can't because my hairline's receding. I can't go with you on this. I got so much bald. No, it's not that his hairline's receding. It's a specific Charlie Kirk brain or cranium enlargement. It's all growing from here. So he's actually getting more skull here.
You guys make fun, but he's enlarging from the right.
Yeah.
The way he wants to enlarge, so I gotta give him credit.
In the way that there's a trench in the middle of the ocean that just shoots more lava up and the ocean gets bigger.
Yeah.
So is Charlie Kirk's front right cranial plate.
It looks like a child tried to draw Pangea and they put that on his head. What is the upside, like the inverse cowlick? It just sticks to his forehead and comes down.
Like, God, what are we trying with the fashion on that show? Like, he's like, it's gonna be great. And it worked for my this guy who won't stop knocking on my door to sell me Bibles. Is the short sleeve tie situation. That's where the future of this fashion movement is going.
Did he have a short sleeve tie?
Short sleeve and tie. Wow, what are we doing, buddy?
I
thought he had a tie. It looks. It might just be the microphone.
It's his mic.
I thought he had a short sleeve tie.
Once again, though, I think his set is nicer than mine on my show. So again, I'm depressed today by all of these right wingers who've got these blasting sets. Wow. Yeah. He's got the stuff in
Live
back.
like a capitalist every single day.
Oh, good.
Anyway, the last thing I would just say on this, just to return to the theme, is that it's interesting how the right does look for clicks based on criticism, in this case, of somebody high profile on the left. I mean, there's a lot of that. To get attention, this story is concocted, right? He's going after Larry David because Larry David's a very high profile personality. So otherwise, some dude who Chris Wallace is talking to probably wouldn't be someone that Kirk would be even weighing in on.
Yeah.
So this will get him eyeballs, and it gets a reaction from us, et cetera. So it serves his purpose that way, probably.
And when Ben Shapiro does this more with Daily Wire, it's the military industrial complex. It is people that, in the military industrial complex, they start wars so they can make money off of selling bullets and everything, and munitions and those giant contracts. In the military industrial complex, you start culture wars so that you can make people angry at mainstream media and start your own studio. So that is exactly what Bent Key is. They start a culture war against Disney, not because what Disney's doing wrong, they start a culture war against comedians, not because those comedians are bad, but because they need an audience to be mad at that kind of content so that they can go make Lady Ballers and they can go make kids content and then accuse you of trying to indoctrinate children. It's the Shillitary industrial complex, and we need to break it down.
Yep.
Sexual anarchy.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.